As we all know by now, the Red Raiders added a ton of talent via the transfer portal this past offseason, while also keeping some key contributors both on the offensive and defensive sides of the football. Those together have caught the NFL's attention. In today's video, we'll discuss a recent NFL article discussing multiple Texas Tech players that have a chance to get drafted in next year's NFL draft, as well as some guys that have the potential to skyrocket up NFL draft boards. Why is this important? We'll discuss that and more in today's video. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome into the RBR. I am your host, RC Maxfield. Talked about it there in the open that Texas Tech football is starting to create some NFL buzz. Obviously, that is the title of today's video, and we will discuss a multitude of players on the Texas Tech roster in 2025 that have already caught NFL scouts' eyes and guys that have the potential to skyrocket up NFL draft boards. But before we do that, I'd be remiss not to, mention, be sure to like the video and hit that subscribe button to stay in the know 100% free on all things Texas Tech football all year long right here on the largest group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube, almost 12,500 strong. We're getting close to 13,000. Pretty crazy stuff. But if you want 100% free content surrounding your Red Raiders, whether it's on the hardwood or the gridiron, daily, 100% free, this is the place for you. So like the video and hit that subscribe button. All right. So ESPN released an article basically discussing which teams in college football, right, are NFL teams paying attention to most in 2025. In Texas Tech, they made tier 3 of this list. I won't put the list on the screen. I will have the guys in terms of the depth chart here in a second, but I will also put the link to the story down in the comments below. Let's go ahead and look at the Texas Tech offense. This is the depth chart as it stands right now going into fall camp. Most notably in terms of guys that were discussed in this article on the offensive side of the football for the Red Raiders, you actually start at the quarterback position. In this article, they mentioned that Baron Morton, as it stands right now, is receiving early day 3 grades. And I don't think that should be surprising to anyone. I understand that there are some Baron Morton haters out there, but at the same time, what he did last year, was it fantastic or Heisman worthy? No. But you have to take into account he had a shoulder injury. He's 100% healthy now. I think we're going to see the best of Baron Morton, and so do NFL scouts as well. Other guys that were mentioned in this article in terms of guys that NFL scouts are going to keep a close eye on this season for the Red Raiders, you go down to the backfield and you look at the running back position in Quentin Joyner. They think he's a day 3 guy right now, maybe a guy that qualifies to come back to school and can elevate his skill set with a second year at Texas Tech. But he is a guy that is also making his presence felt, according to ESPN and NFL draft circles, as a guy that can be a home run hitter and a difference maker at the running back position. We shift outside to the wide receiver positions, and all 3 of Reggie Virgil, Caleb Douglas, and Coy Aiken are potential day 3 selections as it stands right now. Then you move inward, and the NFL is also very high on the tight end position for the Red Raiders, mentioning John Carlos Miller II and Terrence Carter Jr. going into the season in 2025 as day 3 potential picks as well, much like the wide receivers for Texas Tech. Now, on the offensive line, tackles Hunter Zambrano and Howard Sampson, as well as guards Will Jados and Davon Carter, are regarded as day 3 selections as well. They mentioned that Sampson is a guy that NFL teams are really paying attention to, and why wouldn't they? 6'8", 340 has proven that he can play at the Power 4 level. This is a year he can truly make a statement and skyrocket up NFL draft boards when it comes to his draft potential. We move on to the defensive side of the football, and this is where ESPN was very, very high and actually named the top prospect on the Texas Tech roster from this side of the football. We all know who it's going to be. Of course, it's David Bailey, right? They mentioned David Bailey as the top-rated prospect on a replenished Texas Tech roster, a late addition from Stanford. He finished last season with 7 sacks and 3 forced fumbles. His 2.64 second average time to first pressure ranked 23rd in the FBS. He is a projected day 2 pick. I will say this. I don't think he's going to be a day 2 pick. I think he's absolutely going to ball out, and I think he's going to be a first-round NFL draft pick. And if he is a day 2 draft pick, I think he's going to be in the top 10 picks of day 2. They also went on to mention Romello Height and Lee Hunter and Skylar Gill-Howard as guys that have received early day 3 grades from the NFL draft. They also did mention that these are guys that have the potential with a good year to elevate themselves into the day 2 discussion, most notably Lee Hunter, and then Romello Height. They also went on to discuss Jacob Rodriguez, who began his career obviously as a quarterback at Virginia. I think a lot of people forget that, which is absolutely wild to me. He started his career at Virginia pre-COVID, right, in terms of, or just past COVID, in 2021, and is considered a late round pick with the potential to boost his stock as the centerpiece of the Red Raider defense, that according to ESPN. And I think Jacob Rodriguez is going to be one of those guys where I would be pretty surprised if he is a day 2 pick, but I think he's going to be a 4th round NFL draft pick and a guy that easily makes the team for whatever team drafts him. And it also is a guy that plays in the league, which will feel like forever, at least like 6 years, right? And as we know, the NFL stands for not for long. Just kidding. It stands for National Football League, but it also stands for not for long. So a 6-year NFL career for Jacob Rodriguez would be sensational. And it feels like that would be like the minimum for him. Another couple of names that they mentioned in this article that really stood out to me, because this is a guy that did not play last year at all for his school, but it's Cole Wisniewski, the free safety for the Red Raiders. You see him right there above Ben Roberts. He returns after missing last season with a foot injury, and he was one of the top defenders in the FCS. He is considered a day 3 pick right now. And other guys that they mentioned in the Texas Tech secondary include Bryce Pollock, Mississippi State transfer. He kept popping up in NFL evaluations, that according to ESPN, and he is firmly on the NFL scouts radar as a potential day 3 pick with the potential to elevate himself into that day 2 conversation. AJ McCarty and Dante Balfour were also mentioned as guys that are late round hopefuls with a lot of work to do. But the reason I'm bringing this up, in terms of, you're probably thinking to yourself, RC, why does this matter what NFL scouts think right now? Well, it's big in the sense of this. Texas Tech has a plethora of NFL talented players on this roster, something that truly the Red Raiders have not had in the past decade. You've had some here and there, most notably, obviously, Patrick Mahomes. You've had guys like Broderick Washington, so on and so forth, right? Like you have had, and even Tyree Wilson. You've had multiple guys that are NFL players, but this is easily the team with the most surefire NFL talent on it. And it's not just 1 or 2 guys. In that article, they mentioned in terms of their projection for Texas Tech, they are projecting David Bailey to be a first-round NFL draft pick, according to them, in terms of day 1 projections. But they have in their article 9 Red Raiders being selected next year. That would be a lot more than Texas Tech is known for, right? Typically, it's, 1 or 2 here, maybe if you're lucky, 3 or 4, but 9 is what they're projecting. And that might be a little bit low, to be honest, if Texas Tech has a good year and they are in the public eye in terms of mainstream games, whether that's against Arizona State, Utah, Kansas State, or playing for a Big 12 title, and maybe even in the college football playoff. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself right there, but this team is uber talented in the places that matter. Because again, I mentioned 4 guys on the defensive line and 4 guys on the offensive line that NFL scouts are intrigued by. That's something Texas Tech simply has not had really in the past, 10, 15 years? We're talking about something that is really, really just foreign, if we're being honest, to Texas Tech football right now. But it's a good type of foreign in the sense that there is a ton of talent and NFL scouts are taking notice. And I think that's going to be a motivational factor for a lot of these guys, where I see a lot of outside noise from non-Red Raider Nation in sense of, these guys are getting paid. They've already got their money. They're going to lose motivation. You think Romello Height's not going to be motivated? This is his last year in college football and his last chance to prove that, I can play on Sundays at a high level. Same for Lee Hunter. Same for David Bailey. Same for Skylar Gill-Howard. These guys are going to be out to prove something, not only for Texas Tech, right, but also for their future. And it's not just those guys. There's multiple other guys in the same vein for the Red Raiders. This team is uber talented, and the NFL is taking notice at a very, very high level. It's not just ESPN saying this. I've seen similar things over on CBS. I've seen similar things in terms of podcasters here or there that I particularly trust in the NFL space saying that, hey, this Texas Tech team has quite a bit of NFL talent, specifically on the defensive side of the football. Let's see how they do, because they're very, very intrigued by what the Red Raiders have done in the transfer portal and putting these guys together. And, they like the coaching too in terms of Sheil Woods on defense and offensively. Mac Leftwich carries a lot of weight, specifically on the offensive side of the football, because, again, he was the guy that found, recruited, and helped really project and get to the place that he is today in terms of the level setting in college football, the former number 1 overall pick for the Tennessee Titans in this past year's draft, Cam Ward. So, again, those are some of the names. You got quite a few on defense, quite a few on offense. ESPN is projecting the Red Raiders to have 9 NFL draft picks next season. Let me know what y'all think in terms of too high, not enough. Let me know down in the comments below. And while you're down there, be sure to like the video and hit that subscribe button for 100% free Texas Tech football and men's basketball content all year long, whether it's on the gridiron or the hardwood, the portal, or in the high school recruiting ranks. Yesterday was pretty fun in terms of, at the time of this recording for me, Texas Tech had a ton going on when it came to landing a 5-star edge. But again, if you want more of those videos 100% free, this is the place for you. All I ask you to do to help support the channel to keep the videos free is like the video and hit that subscribe button. All right, I'm RC Maxfield, reminding you, as always, to stay safe and Wreck 'em Tech.